That could have gone a little bit better. Welcome to Tattoo Tabletop. My name is James, and today we are recapping the Renegade event, the Renegade GT that I went to for Age of Sigmar this past weekend. As you can kind of hear it in my voice, a little spent, but fortunately got a bigger room. It was nicely air conditioned, and I didn't blow out my voice nearly as much as I usually do, so that's always a big win in my field. Not gonna lie, we're gonna try and cruise through this as fast as humanly possible here because we missed a few things. So, starting off with game number 1, opening up against Gargants, but fortunately, it was my friend Luke. If you ever get an opportunity to play Luke, his last name, I'll just put the first initial for privacy, Luke B. He plays Gargants, he plays really cool 3D printed Gargants, and you get to roll a really big foam dice. I think I actually talked about it in one of my very previous videos a while back. Luke is one of the most fun people to play. He loves the game. He has an absolute blast. And he won Best Sport this year. He absolutely deserves it every single time because he is so much fun to play against. He makes your experience memorable. He's probably one of my favorite people in Age of Sigmar. Love him to death. He did, like I said, he did win Best Sport. I did win against him. That being said, he had a moment where he rolled, I kid you not, 6 up saves. It was insane. And he's just like, well, that's my luck spent. And then I did some more damage to him, and then he rolled 4 more 6-up wards. And he just like walked away from the table. He's like, I don't think I can ever be mad at these dice again. I'm like, no, you cannot. But it was super fun. It was super incredible. I remember one of the big climactic moments is I got a 9-inch charge off with Callus and Toll right into Broad, and he's a priest. So we did the damage, dropped him, dropped another Gargant. Really great game. Ended that one 39-23 with the Fyreslayers winning, which also, just a brief recap, my list is the exact same as the Dragonfall GT. So basically that's 2 Runefathers on Magmadroth, we got a Runefather on foot, we've got a Grimhold Exile just in case I run into Gargants. Glad that worked out. And then I had 28 block of Sling Shield, 10 Hearthguard, and basically the strategy is move it as a big block, make it shoot. I had the Droth helmet on one of my Runefather to make him as effective as possible. So same list, decided to just kind of rinse and repeat. Admittedly, I didn't get in the reps that I probably should have, but we were going in okay. We did all right at Dragonfall, but we forgot how good our friendly local gaming community is, and it's gonna show here. Round 2 into Rob. Rob and his Skaven. I was actually really excited to play Rob because I talked to Rob a few times before, and it was just really cool to finally get to play a game with him. You know, it's one of those things where you meet these people consistently at all your GTs, RTTs, and stuff like that, but you just have never gotten a game with them ever before. You know, you haven't like arranged anything, maybe they're farther away. So it was just great to play a game against him, and he brought some really shooty Skaven, and we were playing on the Vice where the objectives were moving into the middle. I thought maybe this could help me out. Maybe by forcing him to have to go into the middle, he'll have to deal with the block and deal with it. Well, he brought that very shooty Skaven, and he did start plucking off my Hearthguard. And he also pushed up in a nice aggressive movement where he was actually able to block me in a lot because despite all of its things, Fyreslayers on the foot side don't have a ton of damage output. Their best damage output units are actually, ironically, some of their flimsiest. You're talking your Berserkers with Broadaxes, your Poleaxes, and you still really want to be able to swing with them first, and we popped the runes as we could. We did claw back a good amount of points. It definitely was a nail biter, and I did make another 9-inch charge with Callus and Toll, and 1 drop Thankful. That wasn't Rob's fault, though. He absolutely should have made some saves, but he whiffed every single save, and Thankful dropped, and he even told me after, he's like, I thought I was kind of done after that, but my dice betrayed me, they ran away. The game ended 48-40 with Skaven winning it. Rob was a fantastic opponent, a lot of fun to play. It was definitely down to the wire, but he took it away, and so we're on to our last game of day 1. Last game of day 1, we were against Tim and his Iron Jaws. I was just excited to see some Iron Jaws. I'm like, here we go. Here's a proper scrap. And I always like a good fight when I'm playing Fyreslayers, so I was like, we got this. We can pour some shooting into him. He's got infantry everywhere. He didn't have a Mega Boss, like a Mega Boss Mock Crusher, nothing. It was a Mega Boss on foot. He had a Weird Knob Shaman. He had a War Chanter. He had a lot of brutes. When I say a lot of brutes, he had a lot. of boots. He had a 10-man block, and I think he had two 5-man blocks and 2 gore grunter blocks, which the gore grunters were just to get his objectives, understandably. And basically, we were sitting there, and it was shifting objective. So it was just, 1, 2, 3, we were kind of moving back and forth. My dice abandoned me. So here's the tech with my list, in case you're wondering. My Rune Father gives a +1 to hit because he chooses on his work goal, he chooses his bodyguard, he chooses the Hearthguard Berserkers. Thumbs up. And then he's within reach of, reaching over the Bladed Sling Shield Volkite Berserkers. So in that way, they can tag him into, like if they decide to charge into combat, he minuses 1 to their attack characteristic because he's in combat, and he's got his Holy Within, plus the 1, and the War Scroll, and it's supposed to just put output. On my turn, I should be hitting on 3s and 3s, 21 shots, -1, D3 damage. I think on average it was 7. 7 wounds would go through, a bunch would be saved, and and there was one time in particular when I finally had one. I had 9 dice wound, and he missed them all and saved, and I rolled those D3s, and it was like 10 damage. Most of the dice were actually just 1s and 2s. Even Tim was sorry about that. But fortunately for me, again, another great opponent. Can't complain about that. Welcome to the Happy Hands Club. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this pen. I'm going to point it a lot like this. But anyway, it was a hard-fought battle. There were times where I was able to clinch it away. Sometimes I wasn't able to. I was really holding on to that priority, but I just couldn't get away from it. Actually, no, it wasn't shifting objectives. I tried so hard, but I couldn't clinch the victory. It ended 44-40. Another loss. This time to Iron Jaws. So at this point, I'm 1-2, but my 2s are pretty good. I scored 40 points, like I wasn't missing anything. So I thought to myself, you know what? We can do this. We can come back around. Day 2, come out swinging. And later that night, I saw the pairings, and I liked what I saw. What was going to be across the table for me on day 2 was a mirror match. Fyreslayers v. Fyreslayers. Let's go. Getting there the next day, I saw my opponent right across from me, Fyreslayers v. Fyreslayers. I was just stoked to be playing the other Fyreslayers player. We were talking before. We were stoked. We were like, let's go. No matter who wins, Fyreslayers win, which is always a favorite. When you're going into a game with this kind of fun energy where you're both just really excited to be playing each other and to be playing each other's armies and stuff like that, it's just a blast. That's a win for everybody involved. And it was no different here. I played Rick. In his Fyreslayers, he had 3 Magma Drops, Rune Daddy, Rune Son, and Rune Smiter. And he had Goldie, it's gonna bug me. But I remember Goldie wrecked me. And he had some like Hearthguard Berserkers with Broadaxes. He actually had a pretty diversified list. I was surprised he fit as much as he could with the three Magma Drops in there, because they obviously take up a lot of points. But we go into the battle, and we started slugging it out, round 1, round 2, and this one was actually shifting objectives, so, the priorities moving around. And even on turn 2, I was in a pickle. We roll off a priority, he wins it, I'm like, he can take it. He'll take it right now, and he'll just crush me. But he didn't. He's just like, man, I'm having such a good time. I want you to have the priority. You know what, man? You come and get me. You do it. How could you not like this guy? This is just, what a sweetheart. You know who also thought so? My dice. I'm sitting there like the freaking Cobra Kai sensei, just being like, sweep the leg, Johnny, sweep the leg. And instead, my dice are like, but he's so nice. Don't do that. That's mean. And they betrayed me. They ran away. Round 2, I scored lightly. I can't even remember, but it was just nothing. It was a big goose egg. And go to the next round. I'm like, well, maybe I can clinch back in the next round. Maybe I can. Roll off priority. He wins it again. Again, he can just take it and crush me. And he's like, nah, man, let's just keep having fun. You take it again. Who can fight against such reckless niceness? I'm from Minnesota. We have Minnesota nice, and this is even nicer. I can't compete against that. And it showed in the score. It was 47-14. I lost. I lost bad. But you know what? I'm not mad about it, because I had an absolute blast with that guy. Like we like at Renegade specifically, we get a sheet where we have, we write down our 5 opponents, we write down an army to play, and then at the bottom of the sheet we rank our favorite opponent. We rank them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even if we had all great opponents, we still have to rank them. This is how they decide best sport. I scribbled out names so many times. I should have just sat there and waited until the very, very end to start writing stuff down, but I'm like, oh, there's no way I'm gonna get a better game than this person. This person was a blast. When I played my next game, I'm like, all right, this guy was really, really fun. We're gonna write down this guy. This makes sense. I haven't played him before. And I just kept doing this over and over and over and over again. And Rick was another one of those. This was actually his very first tournament too, which was very, very awesome to see. Rick, if you see this, you were fantastic. You were a blast to play. I hope we see you again next year. We'll do some more Fyreslayer stuff. You whoop my butt. I gotta change armies. I gotta get rid of them. So until the last one, at this point we are officially 1-3. It's not looking good, but maybe we can come back. Maybe we can come back and get 2-3. There's still a chance. We got a chance. And then we're swinging in to Sylvaneth, round 5. All right, so let me tell you about this guy, round 5. All right, Sylvaneth. It's this guy named Hugh. He's just the worst to play. I'm just kidding. Sorry, I can't keep up that bit. Hugh, if you see this, you're an absolute delight. Hugh was telling me before the thing, he's like, hey, if I beat you, please don't blast me on YouTube. And he's just joking. Me and him played each other before, and I was like, I'm getting revenge for the first time you messed me up with your freaking Heathen Knights of Slaanesh. But great game. He's a great guy. Again, another name that I scribbled out and I moved him up because he's so much fun. Let this be it. This is a love letter to my AOS community. My AOS community is just the best. I am so blessed that we have such an amazing community that's so much fun, that everyone can play competitively, but can also just have fun at the table. We just enjoy the things that are great for us, the things that go against us, when we have our bad dice rolls or good dice rolls. Everybody celebrates each other, and that's just awesome. Not to mention that we have some players that I genuinely think can compete on high up level. They play incredibly well and consistently well. So it's just awesome to see that level of competitive spirit and competitive edge and competitive greatness paired with just being great people. It's almost like you can be a great person and a good player. Who would have thunk? But anyway, I played my game with Hugh, and Hugh also gets a massive, massive plus from me because turn 1, I move up a little bit, but not too much, and then I forget to pop my strike first rune, whatever. I'm like, it's fine, we'll be fine. He sprints up his Karnoth Hunters right into my Rune Father. I forgot that I had gotten Prayer of Ash on him to -1 to wound him, and he just swings and he murders him, just drops him in a heartbeat. No amount of wards is saving that guy. And then I was like, oh my god, I totally forgot it was -1 to wound. And I was like, don't worry about it, we can just keep going. He's like, no. He's like, do you want me to reroll this? I am 100% down to reroll this. I'm just like, I feel like I've come too far. Don't worry about it. He's like, no, I feel like I need to reroll this. I feel like I didn't earn this because this is not, I didn't do this accurate. And I was like, okay, well, I remember of your hits, you only dropped 1. Everybody else hit because I remember just seeing the 1 dice come out and that was it. He's like, okay, I will re-roll it. He re-rolls it. With the -1 to wound, we factor in the new hit, the new wounds. I roll my saves. I save a couple. Long story short, Rune Father lives. He let me do that go back. So Hugh, thank you so much. I massively appreciate that, and definitely made the game a lot more fun. But Hugh puts in his reps. He puts in his time with his army. Played a phenomenal game. He boxed me out. He avoided the Fortress of Dwarves that I usually try to run around. The table terrain was just right. He made sure that when he was boxing me in, he was putting me in the right spots, cornering me, making sure that I couldn't get out, and it showed with a final of 44-20. So victory to Hugh. I ended the weekend 1-4, but you know what? Can't say that I didn't have a phenomenal time. Again, love my community to death. They're all incredible. So for each one of them that sees this, if you saw me at the tournament this weekend, I massively appreciate you. I love our community. That's why I keep going to these events. If these events weren't fun, or if they were just overly tiring and just feel unrewarding, I wouldn't go. But I do. I keep going. And I will always keep going because of my community, because of what we've done here, because of the love and support we all share for each other. When we get to the awards, everybody cheers everybody. It's not even just like a, oh yeah, good job, you won the tournament, or oh yeah, good job, you got best painted. We are genuinely stoked for each one of those people. And even like, we even shouted out one of the ringers who came in, Matt Medley, who is a fantastic person. Probably one of my favorite people in the community. I hang out with him every Wednesday, and he does some extra stuff in the community, and I love him for it. Even as he walked in, you know, our TO wanted us to cheer him on, and we gave him a massive ovation because he's just such an incredible person, and we appreciate him coming in and playing. So again, if you got a great community, don't take it for granted. It's incredible to have these kind of experiences and to get to play with these people. But that's a wrap on Renegade 2024. So of course, if you like this content, feel free to like, share, subscribe. It's all down there somewhere, or I put it in big bold letters somewhere. I again massively appreciate it every once in a while. I'm still really aiming for the 1K subscribers. That is the goal. I don't know if we're going to clinch it by the end of this year. Here's hoping, fingers crossed. But again, I appreciate that I've even come as far as I have. I'm just going to keep doing these tournament recaps as they come along. I don't know if I'm going to have any more before the end of the year. So, you know, also, just comment down below and let me know what you want to see. Do you want me to do more painting tutorials? You want me to talk about units? You want me to, I don't know, talk about lore? I mean, I read a lot. I do a lot of stuff with it. But, you know, hey, just let me know. But until next time, do me a favor and go paint something. Take it easy.